The date, Saturday the 12th of April 2014. You are joining me at Salute 2014. We're here, the queues are going in. This queue had stretched around the entire hall, and that was just the people that prepaid. Here's all the people that want to get in afterwards. Let's start us out. Oh, before that, we have show organizer Mac.
How you doing, man?
Ooh, this is going to be a biggie.
It is, isn't it? It's 2,600 prepaid, and you can see the length for the paying on the door. It's a lot of work.
Now, the show this year is dedicated to one of the members that sadly passed away, Robert Bothwell.
That's right. He was the treasurer for the club.
Yeah.
Sadly passed away on the way to work just the end of last month. So.
Oh, terrible. Well, hopefully this is a magnificent show, and Robert would be proud of you, I'm sure. All right. Okay, let's go and check out the queue. Everybody ready? So, people are waiting, obviously, to get in. This is the beauty of why you pre-book your tickets for these things, so as you can get in. Here we have the man himself, Tommy.
Hiya.
How are you, mate?
I'm
Tommy,
right.
You looking forward to the show?
I am, yeah. So are the rest of the guys as well.
Oh, all the Golem crew are here, are they? Yeah.
Not all of them, no.
Not all of them.
5 of us are here today.
Five. Great. So, yeah. Come on over to us, Tommy.
I've already promised Roman I'll come and help him at your hobby clinic. So I'll spend
Excellent.
a couple of hours there doing that.
Oh, fantastic!
Right,
I can't wait. If we had known for sure, I would have just brought my entire miniature collection. Had Tommy have a look at them. How's things going at Golem?
Awesome. Busy. Yeah.
Some
really
of these new kind of training days and stuff you're running at the moment, Tommy, look fabulous.
Do you know what? They're a lot of fun. I'm trying to get out around the country and potentially around Europe to do a lot more. So I just want to spread the word for everybody so everybody can benefit.
If you have any interest in painting at all, you've got to check out one of the Golem painting days. They are superb. Right, guys, we will see you inside. Oh, we have stormtroopers abusing the miners. We've got to be careful on that front. And then, of course, they flirt. When they're not abusing people, they're flirting. That's the life of a stormtrooper these days. Anyway, as you can see, this queue's going to go on and on and on. Hello, gents. How are you? And, well, do you know what? I think it's time we started the tour of Salute 2014. So, let's get this show on the road. I have my map. We have our little diagram of just how we're going to try and cut our way through the crowds. And we're leaving Roman and John to manage the miniatures ER. Ben is managing the news. So, all that's left is for us to go out and start giving you the ultimate virtual tour of Salute 2014. So, this year we're going to be focusing on gaming tables because we do the traders every year. This year we want to give the game some love. So I'm going to start by coming up here to get a look around and see just what people are playing. So we'll go around and ask this young man here. Hello. So what are you playing? What are you setting up for?
Zombies versus survivors, basically.
Zombies versus survivors. Is there a particular rule set that you're playing with, or have you got your own rule set for this?
Own rule set we have.
Nice. And are you with a club?
No, I'm just with Hassle-Free Miniatures.
Oh, it's Hassle-Free's doing this one. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so next up we have another beautiful looking gaming table. Is this your table, sir? This man here.
Underdressed.
You look magnificent.
Well, thank you very much.
Right, so what can you tell us about this beautiful table? What are you playing on it today?
Empire of the Dead. It's a battle between the vampire faction, which are holed up behind the Undertakers at the moment, and the Gentleman's faction, which are turning out, and it's a race to recover a lost artifact.
Oh, I love it. The terrain's beautiful. Is the terrain all custom built?
Yeah, it's all scratch built. Myself and Neil Betterton built it all from scratch.
Yeah. And what about the beautiful cobblestone mat? Where do you get one of them?
So that one was from a company in the States who produced it just as an example of this is what we can do. Yeah. But we've got several others similar that we got printed on canvas from the local printing shop.
So you come up with a nice texture of a cobblestone, send it to them, and then they can print it up.
That's it, yeah.
It is absolutely beautiful. Right, so for anybody that hasn't played Empire of the Dead, what can you kind of sum up what the game's about and what the beautiful moments of it are?
Okay, it's set in 1889. It's all over the world. It's group of factions. So you got either good or evil gentlemen's clubs against the religious order of the Brotherhood, the Lycons, the werewolves, the vampire factions. There are new factions coming out all the time that Westwind are producing. And basically the idea of the game is that you want to advance the causes of your particular faction.
Yeah.
Problems are that there's a new element been discovered, Infernium, which powers all sorts of things, and whoever controls that can control the world.
Have you got a kind of like a favorite kind of game mechanic in it that you think builds it up?
So I personally play a police faction.
Yeah.
So we've now got the new Black Mariah, so we can get our troops around the board a lot quicker.
The Black Mariah, that's a stagecoach, is it, or what is it?
Yeah, it's basically it's like a stagecoach, but it's a troop carrier specifically for the police, of course.
Of course. Look, thank you very much. Gorgeous, gorgeous looking table. And I tell you what, those mats that getting printed on your local Photoshop on canvas, what a great idea. Okay, so we're going to push in here a little bit. This is Fenris Games running this one. Do you mind if we have a quick look? What are you playing here today?
We've got a kind of a fantasy game. It's using customised rules that are just adapted from various different games. And basically the aim is that we've got an undead necromancer stomping across the board, trying to break the dam at the end, and the hero's trying to protect a bit Magnificent Seven type of thing. Yeah.
The board is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Can you give us any hot tips on how you did the foliage?
I'd love to claim I made it. I'd love to claim I made it, but the person you need to speak to is Ian over at the Fenris stand. It's phenomenal.
It is stunning.
Beautiful.
It's got a lot of Fenris's models in it.
Yeah.
From the gravestones here through to the larger resin pieces.
Beautiful. So some of this stuff you can just get from Fenris Games themselves.
Yeah.
Okay. What are the rule sets? A custom rule set that you've built for the day?
A rule set based on Bash Fantasy, which is like an indie set that's available. We've just kind of cut it right down to make a game that lasts an hour.
Fantastic. Look, good luck with that, guys. What a beautiful looking board. Okay, so let's keep moseying on. I'm going to make a quick stop, if we can, just into this direction. We're going through the eating or the seating zone now. Good man, keeping up. Right, have a look at this. What a stunning, stunning looking board. Okay, who's in charge of this one? Right, this way. Okay, what are you demoing here? What are you playing?
It's a samurai game. Samurai 28mm.
What rules?
Warhammer Ancient Battles.
Oh, the board is absolutely beautiful. Are the terrain pieces? Yeah, who makes the terrain pieces? Is that Oshiro?
Sharp, Shiro, yeah.
Yeah, they're absolutely stunning. So, how long did it take to put it together? Have you any hot tips for doing the foliage or the little blossom?
No, none that I can give you. You'll have to ask the man yourself.
We'll have to go and check him out. So, Warhammer Ancients. What do you it's still got quite a following, the Ancients rule set.
Some people, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
What's your favourite bit of it? What attracts you to that rule set?
The history of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the periods.
Well, there we have it. Right, thanks. Best of luck with that. Absolutely stunning table. The Oshiro stuff is gorgeous. If you haven't checked it out, definitely go and check out Oshiro. Okay, next up, we have a table that I'm quite excited about because the pirate ship that they're running, I have one at home, but it doesn't look half as good as this one. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
Whose table's this? Perfect. So the table looks stunning.
Thanks very much.
You're demoing Freebooters Fate on this today, yeah? So, for anybody that hasn't played Freebooters Fate, can you kind of sum it up? Well, what it's about, and what they'll like about it.
Sure. Freebooters Fate is a skirmish game. It's about 7 to 10 minutes a side, but you can start with as little as 4 or 5, which we sell as starter sets. The basic thing is it's entirely diceless, so it's only card-based. You have 6 hit locations. You have your head, your torso, left arm, right arm, abdomen, and legs. And the basic combat system consists of everybody, the attacker and the defender, choosing cards in secret. The attacker usually gets 2, defender usually gets 3. And basically the attacker tries to choose what the defender hasn't. And then they both get revealed simultaneously. Anything the attacker has and the defender hasn't is a hit for the attacker. Right. And then we use cards to work out the damage.
So it's it feels like a combat system that you're trying to outwit your opponent on.
Yes, outwitting is definitely what you're trying to do. So there's far less luck involved. So it's more kind of psychological. Because people carry stuff in their hands. Yeah. They'll need to run very fast occasionally, and so you go for what you need to take out. Of course, your opponent knows that and will thus defend that, but you know that he's trying to defend that, so you can forgo attacking that, which your opponent knows, and so on and so forth.
Yeah. Okay, the terrain. Is this all custom built, is it?
That's all custom built, except for the ship.
Now, the ship is a mega block ship.
Yeah, it's converted.
I have this! Myself and my daughter have this very ship. We play with this all the time, but ours doesn't look anywhere near as cool as that one.
Well, all you do is you go and snip off the Lego-y bits and go to a fast food chain of your choice, get the planks, put them on, 2 hours with an airbrush, you're done.
I might go home and do that right now. Look, thanks very much for that. Okay, so let's mosey on. We want to go... We're going this way. I see some historical stuff going on. Is this the table of the Dunstable generals? What are you playing on it today?
This is the night before D-Day. This is American paratroopers trying to find their rendezvous point because they've been scattered behind the beaches.
Oh, this is that whole Band of Brothers type thing at the start where they're all kind of lost, yeah?
Yep. And each of these tokens will reveal something which may be hostile, or it may just be a noise in the night. It could be anything.
What rule set are you using to play it out?
This is homemade rules. We just made them up.
I love that. There's so much of that goes on at Salute, and it's worth a trip to Salute to play some of these homemade games. You try them out because some of them are absolutely fantastic. So the table itself, I really love the look of these hedgerows. Where did you get them?
That's a good question. They come from Warlord, but I can't remember who actually made the hedges. Yeah. The buildings are foreground. Yeah. The trees are various. And it's just a collection that we've built up over time. We keep adding bits to it each year. So.
And I see that you're using one of those beautiful fabric grass mats. Yep. You just don't get them anymore. Well, we have no idea where to get them, and if you know where to get them, you make sure and tell us.
Yeah, okay. Rick brought that. I'll find out where he is.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we're going to move on. Okay, best of luck with that. That looks awesome. Okay, so next up. Hello.
Hi, Warren.
Hello.
How are you doing, bud?
Dirty old town. Yeah. That sounds like somewhere I want to live. What's going on in this one then?
It's, in Her Majesty's name.
Yep.
It's 28mm skirmish game, Steampunk.
Now, in Her Majesty's name is a rule set, yes?
It is, yeah.
Now, is it by Osprey or?
It's by these two chaps. They're actually about. They've just come and said hello to us, so they're going to come back for a game later.
Fantastic.
We've set it around the dirty old dock, as you can probably see, and we've got a few companies out.
A dirty old dock, is that Cockney slang?
No, that's not a euphemism, I can assure you.
The table looks fabulous. Yeah. Is it all entirely custom built, is it?
Building in the middle, which is Dave GRAFFAM model.
Yeah.
Scratch built.
Yeah, Steve built the actual table floor. Martin.
You've even got little flickering lights in the building, Steve. They look awesome.
Hobbycraft, a great mate for little tea lights that flicker.
Oh, it's absolutely stunning. So how does the rule set play? What's the mechanics of it like?
Very, very simple. It's all done on a D10. You get a basic stat, you roll it, you add that to it. So if you're shooting and your character is a +3, and you've got to beat the opponent's armour. who could be a 9 or whatever. You beat it, they then do a pluck save to see whether it kills them or not. Simple as
that.
Yeah.
And what are the factions that are playing on the board today?
At the moment, we've got Lord Flashheart's, what are they? Extraordinary Volunteers.
What?
We have
Sergeant McDonald's neighbourhood support team, which are basically Scotland Yard as such.
Yeah.
And then standing up on the bridge watching at the moment are my lot, which are Lord Edward Vincent Blackwater's company, which are the posh guys.
I love it. I absolutely love it. So the vibe of this game, is it more kind of fantastical than historical, or what is the general vibe of it?
Steampunk, very fantastical.
Yeah.
Anything goes. Anything goes. They've got a lot of extra books coming out. They did one last year which covered the West. Their one coming out later this year covers the Far East. So you get all that Hong Kong Chinese feel and everything going on.
Is if there's something that you want to change yourself, it's quite diverse. If you think, I quite like the idea of doing that crew, you can put it together yourself and adapt the rules to suit your game.
Fantastic. Right, gents, excellent work. We are going to mosey on and see what else we can see. Right, now I have to keep referring back to my map because at some point we're going to come up to a new company that is somewhere along this that we probably haven't seen before. So, and that'll be at TA20. But while I'm keeping an eye on that, let's see what else is being played here. So here we have, this is interesting. Can we talk to you about this for a second? Yeah? So what have we got going on here?
What it is, it's one of the earliest encounters of the First World War. It's French against the Germans. It's actually in Belgium, in the Ardennes.
Yeah.
A place called Longnier. What happened was the French had cyclist troops, and they ran into a German cavalry patrol. And then as the rest of the forces came up, combat developed.
Yeah. Now you're playing this at 6mm, yeah?
This is 10mm.
This is 10mm.
Which, as you'll see, gives you significantly larger figures. You can actually see who they are. But it's got the advantage of they're still relatively inexpensive, and you can still fit quite large battles onto relatively small spaces.
Yeah. So, what are the rules? What's the rule set that you're using to play
this
it out?
Is Bloody Picnic, which is written by Dylan over there. He's written the rules, so I think it's a revised edition.
Yeah.
They've been around for a few years. When we played World War I at the club, we used them, obviously because one of our guys wrote them.
Yeah.
And some of the players around here were involved in development of the rules.
So if you're fancying a game of World War I at 10mm or whatever, check out Bloody Picnic by Dylan Brown. Guys, thank you so much. We're going to mosey on. Oh, we have something quite beautiful here. Can we talk to you a little bit about Sails of Glory?
Indeed, how can I help?
So, it looks stunning.
It's great fun as well, love it. Age of Sails.
So what can you tell us about it?
Well, today we are doing what we call the open box game. Everything you see here, we are literally playing straight out of the box.
Yeah.
The battle mat is a separate, which we've got here, but you can play it on any sort of piece of blue fabric, nice and easy. Two young lads here, we've got the British ships. We have the HMS Vanguard, which is a giant, great ship of the line, hundreds of guns, loving blowing stuff up. And we've got the lovely little frigate here, the HMS Terpsichore, which is the little one nipping over there. They're facing off against the French fleet over there. We have the Généreux, which is a great big ship of the line, and the Unité, which is the little frigate on that side. Aim of the game is quite nice and easy, sink them as fast as possible.
Love it.
Yeah, you got to love a bit of sinking. When they start getting up close, we've got these little rulers here. They will do, that shows you how far you can fire. Now you can do your nice little front broadside, rear broadside, or you can be a man about it and do a full broadside.
Yeah.
That's when people sink in a turn, and that's awesome times. You have to love it. So, now they're getting a bit closer. If you guys, Ben, do you think you're in range? So hopefully we get a bit of shooting in here for you.
Is it a game that'll scale up? Can you get more ships for it and do big battles on big tables?
Real benefit of the starter box is that although it comes with 4 ships, they're both they actually have sort of double-sided information.
Yeah.
So if you didn't want to use the Vanguard, situation like that, turn it over, and you have the defence instead.
Right.
So you straight away actually have 8 ships to use.
Yeah.
But there's already another I think there's about another 16 ships already available, with more coming out in the next few months.
And are those ships available? They're available separately? You just buy them separately?
Buy them completely on their own.
Or could they just buy a bunch of starter boxes?
It's the best way to get into it. If you get two of the starter boxes, you've got 8 ships straight off.
Yeah.
You've got everything you need to play in the box. You get the rules, you get hundreds and hundreds of counters that go with it. And these are just representing your damage. So rather than having to roll your dice and it being, I don't know, some people with their loaded dice, it's just straight up tokens. As they're given a good shake here, they're going to start blowing the British up, which is very unsportingly. You know, British have the first shot.
Fantastic. Okay, guys,
have a lovely
that
day.
is Sails of Glory. Look, thank you very much. On the other side of it, you'll probably recognize this one. This is Wings of Glory, which is a fabulous game and went on to inspire such things as X-Wing, for example, which is huge. Hello, gentlemen. This looks like quite the battle taking place here. Can you tell me what's going on?
Basically, we have Byzantines facing Normans, and at the moment, there's lots of cavalry posturing, waiting for something decisive to happen, which I think might be in a move or two.
Now, I've seen historical games before, and I've watched Rick Priestley play a historical game where they got incredibly excited, but to my untrained eye, not an awful lot died. And not an awful lot seemed to happen. But I take it that's not the case for this one. Is this going to be a butchering fest here?
It tends to go one of two ways, as you say. Either there's lots of posturing and then the morale collapses, or it gets very, very bloody very quickly.
What rule set are you using to play it out?
We're actually using this rule set, which is Warlord rules. Trevor Housel, who's sat over there, just about to release a new version, which is a light set of rules coming out in the next few months, with any luck, from Caliber Books.
For Ancients and Dark Ages and stuff like that.
Yep, and there's a medieval set as well.
Is there any kind of interesting or unique mechanics within this rule set that is worth a shout?
Definitely some very interesting command and control. There's also some fairly effective sort of morale and attrition techniques, so as a battle goes on, units will start to gradually break down, lose command and control, lose attrition, so it's very easy to get a fairly decisive result within 2 to 3 hours of playing.
Oh, that's not bad, especially for big games such as this.
Yeah.
Well, gents, enjoy your time. It looks fabulous. See you soon. Okay, so let's move on. I believe we have some American Civil War, I believe.
It is.
Am I right?
You are.
What can you tell us about it? Other than the fact that it looks stonkingly fantastic.
It's the Battle of the Wilderness, which was fought in Virginia in 1864.
Yeah.
And the Union have attempted to outflank the Confederates and become outflanked themselves. There's also several actions being fought either side of this.
Yeah. So is this part of a linked game that's going on?
No, the club's also doing a medieval one down there.
Okay, gotcha. So what rule set are you using to play this out?
Okay, we're using Warlord.
Warlord. We've seen that. So now Warlord was written, it says on the book, it's for Ancients and Dark Ages, but you're repurposing it to use for this?
There's a basic mechanics within the rules, and then there are supplements for various periods throughout history.
Gotcha.
The latest is up to about 1890, the sort of colonial warfare period.
Now, how does a game like this play out? Is it really, really bloody, is it?
It can be. A lot of it, obviously, depending on dice, because you need an element of chance, otherwise every game becomes predictable. But yes, we've got 2 brigades clashing in here, keep bouncing off each other, slowly wearing themselves down.
Oh no, I'm admiring the trees. Some of these trees are stunning, like these big ones over here.
Yep.
Where do you pick those up? Are they custom made?
It's a club member makes them.
Wow, they are stunning. Okay, look, thank you, gentlemen. Right. Let's mosey a bit further down. Now, again, trying to keep track of where we are, so... Oh, here we go. Dave! And just when you're wondering where your historical partner is to try and help you with all this historical stuff, Dave, I was really struggling, man.
Oh, really?
I was in the Dark Ages, right?
Right.
And they had Normans.
That's right. Yeah.
And then I was in the American Civil War or something. You know,
Did you eat some bad cheese or something?
Oh man, I'm freaking out. But you can help me now, okay? Right. May I interrupt? What have you got playing here? Because this looks very interesting.
We are playing Ronin today. Ronin, yeah, it's a ancient samurai type game.
And it's obviously a little skirmish level game. What are some of the rule mechanics? And
it's just turn-based skirmish. It's just a quick, fun little game. Really, yeah.
The terrain looks lovely. Is the terrain? Did you make it yourself, or is it?
The board is from Wargames Emporium. The model, the buildings, I can't remember who made them, but the game itself is made by Osprey.
Okay, fantastic. Right, let's mosey on. Dave, stick with me.
Okay, I will.
Stick with me.
Don't worry.
Okay, because we're coming up to this again. Gentlemen, may we interrupt? This looks very, very interesting. What have we got going on here today?
This is...
Do you know what? I'm going to come round to you. Okay, hang on. Wait, let's see. We'll come round this way.
Hello.
Hello.
This is an Abbey Wood Irregulars game. We are doing an ahistorical counterattack of the 21st Panzer Division in the morning of the 6th of June against British paratroopers.
Okay,
right. That's the scenario in a nutshell.
Panzers, British paratroopers, morning of the 6th of June.
That's it.
I know that probably means a lot more to you than it does to me.
Pegasus Bridge.
There it is.
There it is.
I see Pegasus
genuine
Bridge.
Pegasus Bridge, yes.
Now I completely understand. That was all you had to say. So, what scale are you playing it at?
This is 15 millimeters figure scale.
Yeah.
We have a ground scale of 1 millimeter to 2 meters. So this board is about 3.5 kilometers long and about 3 kilometers wide.
Yeah.
Each figure represents about 10 men, and each vehicle represents 3 to 5 vehicles.
Ah, no, this is a key concept within wargaming, but one that we don't often come up against in the old sci-fi and fantasy tropes, where actually each man is a representation of a whole bunch of men. The Napoleonics do that massively. So whenever you were saying they were 15 mil and then the ground scale was different, I started to go, I cannot compute, but now it makes sense.
So the reason for using 15 mil miniatures is to make it look nice on the table. Yeah. But it doesn't relate to the size of the figures. Obviously, doesn't relate to the ground scale itself. Yeah. So, for example, here you've got elements of the 21st Panzer Division. This is a company of Panzer IV tanks, but it's advancing on a front of about 300 meters.
Yeah.
So that's about 17 tanks representing.
So these 4 tanks are representing about 17
tanks, and it's advancing on a front of about 300 meters, and it's supported by Panzer Grenadiers in vehicles. And because it's 21st Panzer Division, those people who know
it's
about
really
these
kind
things,
of war room type stuff. Where's your sticks for pushing everything around?
These are actually converted French half tracks.
Right.
Those people that were aficionados of 21st Panzer Division in 1944 will know that the Germans actually converted lots of ex-French things that they captured in 1940. Major Becker, exactly. Oh, he knows his stuff, you see. And these are the transport we're using for the Panzer Grenadiers.
Fantastic. So what rule set are you using to play this all out?
We're using a rule set which we developed ourselves. It's myself and Pete who are developing it, and it's called Mission Command.
Yeah.
And it is a set of rules which is simulation based. So the approach is, well, we like to think it's more realistic than your conventional Hollywood wargaming.
Yes.
So we attempt to model command and control more or less accurately. So you have to do things like communicate with people. So when they see these tanks, these guys in front have to tell their brigade or battalion HQ that there's tanks coming, and then they can react. Yeah. So it's not a question of we've got troops over there, we just move them. We have to tell brigade what's happening, communicate across, and then move them.
Right. If people want to find out more about this game, where can they go to?
We go to our website. SurpriseStareGames.co.uk. Yep, there's a website there.
Go and check it out. It looks fantastic. Thank you very much for your time. So, Dave, there we have a game that is more on the simulation side.
Yes. Move up your chain of command kind of games. Yeah.
I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Hex-based as well, it looked as well. That's very difficult.
I do, you know, maybe if you're playing a game for a long time, you want that complexity, you want the challenge of it all.
Yeah, that's it. You want to be able to be the commander.
Yeah.
You want to be... I don't know, I'd have to play that one. It looks very interesting. I might get a demo.
It's interesting, but to be fair, a little bit scary for me. Now, wow. Here we've got something going on that I wanted to see. We have naval. Okay, guys, what is going on and what can you tell me?
Right, so RUFIJI River Delta action, First World War.
Yeah.
Basically, the Royal Navy hunting down the German Königsberg, which is one of their. Just disappeared. It was on the. You can see him down. That's the Königsberg down there.
And so it's a World War I naval game. What's the scale?
Scale 1 to 1200.
1 to 1200. It looks fabulous.
So basically, simple thing with naval war game. Terrain mat.
Yeah.
Got done for us, so we didn't need to do it ourselves.
Yeah.
Rolls up, and then just clump foliage just shoved on the.
Now this terrain mat is what? Is it 6x8? Is it or?
Simon, what's the scale of the map?
7 by 5.
7 by 5.
He knows more about this game than anyone.
So 7 by 5 is that typically a good size for a naval game?
Yeah. In this sort of, because you don't want to make it too big because you can't reach into the middle.
So what about 8 by 4 or something like that? Is the 4 too narrow? Is it or?
Typically yes, because you want enough room to manoeuvre.
Yeah.
In this game, manoeuvring's not so great. The whole point of the game is that the British need to try and find the Königsberg, which is hidden in this river delta.
Yeah.
So we typically using the cards to mark off places where she could be hiding, and also where there are defences. At the moment in this game, they've just found the Königsberg. She's just there.
Yeah.
Okay. And they've sailed their shallow draft monitors, which is what the British use to try and weed out the Königsberg, because their deeper draft vessels can't approach into the delta. So
there's big ships that can't come in here, and they're sitting out there.
Yeah.
And then in here we're coming in this kind of like island chain, is it or?
Yeah, it's a river delta, so it's mangrove swamp.
Mangrove swamp.
Yeah.
Wow.
So what the British have done is they've sailed their shallow draft monitors and trawlers up one of the channels.
Yeah.
And come in just behind the Königsberg there, and then now they're going to attempt to engage her with their guns and sink her.
I love it.
We have got bigger ships in there.
Single-handedly, you guys have completely changed my whole outlook on naval wargaming, because I thought basically it was a bunch of ships on an empty blue board. It never ever occurred to me about all of this like deltas and stuff like that. That looks awesome. Right, if we get time later on, I'm going to come back and play that. Okay. All right, guys, look, thank you for that. Dave, naval, do you fancy becoming like a commander of a boat with me?
I think I could get the uniform ready and the
I fancy a bit of naval, actually. That really, really is stoking me up. So, we've been bombed. Right. Okay, so let's push on here till we see. Now, that's our historical stuff. Yes. But Dave, I'm going to take you into a world of steampunk right now, because I know you love a bit of steampunk, as do I. Now, this is a great, great steampunk game. It's up and coming. It's been around for a little while, but the development of it is now really starting to kickstart. Of course, I'm talking about WOLSUNG. Right, let's see if I can get you around here. So, what can you tell us about what you've got going on here today?
Well, today we have participation games for WOLSUNG. We have the same terrain that we had last year, unfortunately, but we have finally made warehouses available. So they are all on.
So the warehouse. This is a warehouse here, yes?
Yeah, this is a warehouse.
Can I take it apart? And have
Definitely,
a look at
you can take it apart, look at it.
Oh wow! Wait. It looks stunning. Wow. So the scale of this game is 35 mil?
30 millimeter.
30 mil.
30 millimeter.
Look at that. How cool is that? That model rocks. Now, for anybody wanting to get in to WOLSUNG, I personally think this is a perfect entry point to steampunk, because everything pretty much you see on this table You can
we produce and you can buy
produce.
it.
So all these gangways and all these buildings and stuff, you can just get and put it all together.
Yeah,
So
it all fits together, and you can rearrange them from the game to game. So with the same terrain that you get, the walkways and the buildings, you can arrange them differently from game to game, and they all stack together, so they don't really move during the game.
So what can you tell me about the mechanics of Wolsung itself? It's a skirmish game, obviously, but is there any kind of core mechanics and things like that that are interesting for people?
Well, we use standard D6 dice, but we mix them with cards, standard gaming cards, and the dice roll.
I'm getting video bombed here, so I may as well come into the show. We're having a look at Wolsung here. Are you embarrassed yet?
No, not yet.
Excellent.
last time we saw, we explained to you we watch you in bed.
Oh, hey. No, I'm embarrassed. You get me
you've forbidden me now to do that.
Oh no! It's just I'm getting speechless. I don't even want to pry anymore. All right, mate. Thank you. Sorry about that. So we've got it's D6 based.
D6 based on a success, so 4 plus is a success, and both opponents always roll their dice, and they compare the number of successes. On equals, the attacker wins, so there is a slight advantage to the attacker. Then there are cards, which only heroes can use, so the hero models are the more important ones. So you have a limited resource of cards at your hand, so you can have to manage them, and you can use the cards to boost attacks from range or for melee. You can also steal enemy initiative. You can use it to cast spells. So there are plenty of uses of cards, and it keeps the game and every turn fresh.
Excellent, excellent. Look, thank you so much. That steampunk genre is just, it's really on the up and up. Now we've been talking recently about this whole idea of element X and stuff like that, and it maybe being a little overused, but it doesn't stop our love of the whole steampunk genre.
I think it's because it's so vast.
One of the beautiful things about that particular micro art studio thing, though, is they have all the terrain there. You will feel like you are in the environment from day one. Right, more tables to look at. I want to come over this way, because while we're on the topic of steampunk, I believe if we can get in over here.
My favourite.
I'm trying to look for someone to tell us if we're anybody from Spartan we can talk to about Dystopian Wars 2. I'm going to borrow this, man. Come hither. You're live, so I'm afraid there's no negotiating or bartering.
How you doing, all right? Having a good show?
We're having a fantastic show. Dystopian Wars 2.
Yes.
It's out.
It is. It's going very good. It's been very popular.
Did you get your copy this morning?
Came, saw the models, loving it.
Yes.
So what can you tell us about it? What's the kind of key changes, or what does it facilitate?
Okay. So Dystopian Wars, it's a much more streamlined system. So you're going to be able to play bigger games, you're going to be able to put more models on the board. It's going to be good. Yeah, lots more explosions, lots more bang for your buck. It's going to be a fantastic redo. I'm really excited to see what you guys think of it and how you play your games. Looking forward to lots of feedback.
Excellent, excellent. Have you got any demo tables or anything set up for Dystopian Wars today?
You can come and see the full box set content.
Let's go and have a quick look.
So we've got the full Shadowhunter box contents in front of you with all of the models. So you've got the Boston class submarines, both above and below the water.
Yep.
And you've got the full FSA fleet with the new battleship, the new cruisers, corvettes and frigates, tiny flyer tokens, the new Wanny secret installation. So you pop the top off, pop the Wanny terror ship in it.
Love it.
It's too childish, but it's too awesome at the same time. You've got the Wanny terror ship in resin, and you've also got it in clear resin for when it activates its generator. You've got the new Blazing Sun battleship, the new Blazing Sun cruisers, corvettes and frigates. It is a chocker full box. 50 plus resin models, 128-page rulebook, all your games, tokens, templates, terrain, everything you need to get playing Dystopian.
Fantastic. And the
There is the best thing they've done.
This
ever.
doesn't get old. Doing that doesn't get old. Dystopian players are going to love it.
That is stonkingly good. Right, we're going to be doing our best to get Spartan over to us to actually take us through the rules of this game. We want to see it. Right, we will see you guys soon, okay? Cheers. Right, so where are we? We are, I want to make sure that we're not missing anything because the gaming tables that are here this year are stunningly good. Dave, this looks like our kind of game here, mate. Right, so let's get squeezed in here. Hello, gentlemen. Can we have a word about what's going on the table here? So, it's all right, we'll come around to you.
Hi, it's the Nationalists and the Republicans are both trying to get to the factory because there are munitions there, and it's the only building that's intact in the district.
The Nationalists and the Republicans?
Yeah, Spanish Civil War.
Spanish Civil War, okay,
Sorry.
right, yes.
Yeah.
Now that makes even less sense.
Where Hitler sent all his troops in to train before
Yeah,
the
yeah.
first.
Well, you've got these guys in light uniform, the Italian volunteers, fascists.
Yeah.
You've got the Spanish Foreign Legion there, and over there, the guys with the strange hats are the Guardia Civil, who are Spanish police. On this side, you've got International Brigade here.
Lots of Irish.
Well, these are Canadian unit,
right.
and then you've got local militia, and then there's some regular army people from the Republicans. And they're all trying, it depends who gets the factory and who holds it wins the game. So even the Republicans are sort of fighting against each other.
What rule set are you using to drive this?
Yeah, it's the World of Flame.
Osprey again, yeah.
Yeah, very simple set, but with a deck of cards for events.
Oh, very nice, yeah.
He gives you some recommended events here. So you have the International Brigade's Canadian company discovers a full cellar of wine. The unit halts and may not move for one turn.
I love it. I absolutely love
That's my
it.
favourite card there. That's
Yeah. Well, you've got other ones. There's another one for the International Brigade where they receive a food parcel from someone's Auntie Eileen. And that gives them plus morale for 2 turns.
Right, guys, look, thank you. It looks stunning. I think I'm going to take my mate Dave's shoulder and we're going to find a barrel of wine somewhere, Dave.
That's a good idea.
Okay, so I have set down my map somewhere and I don't know where. So I'll have to try and find it. But before that, there's a couple more tables that I want us to have a look at. Now this one, where do you get a load of this? Hello, gentlemen. The fact you're wearing a fez means you're the boss.
Possibly.
So what can you tell us about this magnificent table today?
Well, this is a Victorian science fiction game set on Mars, the Red Planet. The Red Planet has been colonized by Great Britain, Japan, and the rest of the world powers. And they've set about industrializing it, raping it of all of its minerals, resources, etc., etc. And the indigenous Martian population aren't very happy.
There are Martians on this table
There are
somewhere?
Martians. The Martians are all flying in these little flying boats. And they're intent on doing harm to the Earther invaders.
What a fabulous game. What is it, a custom rule set or what are you... We're being video bombed
We've got the
here.
backdrop behind us.
Is it a custom rule set that you're using for this?
We're using sharp practice, which might be a bit strange because it's a Napoleonic set of rules, but we've customized them for Mars. We like the mechanics in the rule set, so we tend to use that for a lot of our games.
And how does it play? You know, how would a game like this actually play out? Because it just looks bonkers to me. I love it.
It is bonkers. There's no two ways about it. The rules are worked around what they refer to as big men. So your characters have subordinates who do things on the command of the big men. It's a card-driven system, so we have cards somewhere on the other side of the table with representations of each of the characters. So each Martian skiff has a leader. When that card is activated, the leader then decides what he wants his crew to do. And the same applies to the British and the Japanese. There's individual characters dotted around the table who on the turn of the card will do something.
Now, let's talk a little bit about the table because it is fabulous. Is it entirely custom built?
Yes, in a word. All of this is built by Oshiro Model Terrain. We're just here to promote it for them. The only thing on the table that was not made by Oshiro is the train.
Yeah.
And that was a plastic kit that came from Japan.
So that whole bridge and fortifications and stuff is available from Oshiro?
That's all scratch built.
Oh, that's scratch built.
That's all scratch built. The only things that Oshiro sell are all the buildings and the Martian skiffs.
The Martian skiffs are awesome.
They're resin castings.
Yeah.
So they are available to buy. All the other vehicles, the boat, the small walkers or the little sort of tractor things, they're scratch builds.
Yeah. Okay, look, thank you so much for that. What a fabulous table.
Martians. I love these Martians. Victorian Martians.
Victorian sci-fi on Mars. Now there's a genre. That's not steampunk. That is Victorian science fiction.
That's it. That's H.G. Wells gone mad.
Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it. Right, let's mosey on. There's a big gaming table here. I'm just going to try and creep in to see if we can talk to some of the guys running this. Hello, gentlemen. Is anybody that's running it on this side? This is the man, right? Let's go this way here. Ah, it's beautiful. Hello. We're here to talk to you about this. So what can you tell us? I'm going to come to this side. What can you tell us about what's going on here today?
Okay, this is a recreation of the Battle of Trebia, 218 BC, between the Romans under Sempronius Longus, which isn't a comedy name. And,
it's not?
No, I'm afraid that was his name. And the Carthaginians under Hannibal, Hasdrubal, and Have a Banana.
Okay, Half a Banana.
And it's a 54mm game, because being Salute, you've got to think big.
Yeah.
I can't see the point of a 15mm 2x2 thing. You've got to, fill the space. And 6 players, 4 players doing it at any one time. DBA rules, first edition, basic, simple. So you haven't got charts and rules all over the table. You can get all the rubbish off the table and just play the game.
Now, DBA's an old rule set now. It's been around a long lot of years. Do you find DBA just suits this kind of thing?
Well, for something this big and a demonstration game for the public, you don't want to be hunched over, poring over charts and rules and things like that. You want to keep all the rules off the table, so you've got the table just for the gaming area, and something most of the time you can keep in your head. We put some of the stats for the figures actually on the bases, so you don't have to keep referring again to charts. So you can just play the game and keep it all uncluttered. And also for a game this size, it's quite fast, it's quite easy, but it does give you. I hate saying all realistic results because nobody knows. It's blokes in t-shirts with sticks. I mean, who knows? But it does give you a good tactical sense of what happens, what you can do, what you can't do, and stuff happens if you play the game. Gang up on people and get flanks and things like that. So it gives you I would say a good feel for the period. But again, no one really knows. But it gives what I think is a good feel for the period. There you go.
And it looks fabulous. It looks stunning. I want to talk to you about the actual gaming surface, okay? Because this is the longest uninterrupted gaming table that I have seen in a long time. There's something special going on here.
A foul secret here. This is a canvas, a sheet of canvas with acrylic-based rubber sealant, paint, sand mix worked into the fibres, just literally rubbed into it, and then stippled, sprayed, highlighted. We made some ploughed fields out the same, so that at the end of it, because it's not silicon rubber, because it's rubber based, you can just roll it up and take it away.
So this table just rolls up?
This is, as you can see, this is just a canvas sheet which can be rolled up. I got a cardboard tube from a carpet shop. You can just roll it up and take it away, and that's how we did it. And then we did because it was December, the actual battle took place. We got table salt for some stand, and the little glistening you can see of the Winter Wonderland is, and I hesitate to tell you, is actually stripper glitter. Exactly. Which they wear.
You're giving away the secret of our industry, man.
Salt and stripper glitter is the way forward for Ardennes games of the future.
Yeah.